Lyle Crocodile, which is one of the most unique names for a movie all year long. It's directed by the team of Speck and Gordon, who brought you Blades of Glory 15 years ago, which is just a crazy statement that makes me feel very old. It stars the likes of Javier Bardem, Constance and the voice of Shawn Mendes, and it's got original songs from the team of Pasek and Paul. Those of you who are into musical theater like me will know that this is the team behind the original songs for Dear Evan Hansen and The Greatest Showman. Which, side note, before I continue, I will not accept any Greatest Showman slander in the comments, guys. This movie is great. Dear Evan Hansen, on the other hand, it's a good stage show. Alright, so we follow the Prim family, who has just moved into a New York City apartment with their young son Josh, played by young Winslow Fegley. He's got some severe anxiety, struggling to adapt to his new school and friends, but all of that changes when he discovers Lyle, a singing crocodile who lives in their attic that loves baths, caviar, and great music. And I should note that he's previously been left behind by his magician owner Hector, played by Javier Bardem. So Josh becomes fast friends with this reptile, but when the evil neighbor who lives downstairs threatens Lyle's existence, the family must band together to show the world that family can come from the most unexpected places. And yes, I realize that sounds like a very cliche synopsis and breakdown. So I guess this movie was based off of a really popular children's novel or something like that, and this is the movie that you viewers requested that I talk about first this weekend over David O. Russell's Amsterdam, probably because a lot of you are expecting this movie to be just downright awful. And I'm sure a lot of you probably clicked on this title of this video and this thumbnail expecting me to rip this movie a new one. Viewers, are you sitting down? Are you ready? I'm not sure if you are, but Lyle Crocodile is darling. No, please, come back, you know? Please listen to my opinion. Yes, this script may not be the greatest. Yes, it may be hard to suspend your disbelief that this anthropomorphic crocodile is just lurking around an apartment like this. Yeah, there may be one or two little fart jokes in here for the kids and what have you. But honestly, this family dynamic was really sweet. The stepmom, who's played by Constance doesn't really feel all that welcome in the family still. And even when she comes across this crocodile pretty early on, she, of course, reacts in kind, sheer terror, and I don't want to give everything away that happens here, obviously. But I think how every family member encounters this thing that just stumbles into their lives and was left behind, basically abandoned. I think every single one of them, every single character in this movie, not just the family, they have a very special relationship with this thing. And I think the screenplay does a really nice job of capturing all of this. I think Winslow Fegley is a great discovery in here. He was really solid in this film. Great child performance. Constance of course, is going to be great. And her singing voice, her duet with the crocodile in the kitchen is certainly a highlight of this. And yeah, I think we should talk about this crocodile, shouldn't we? Yes, it's obvious that it's very much CGI. I get that, but you look into this thing's eyes and you can't help but be drawn to him. He's cute. He's very cute, guys. Actually, this whole dynamic and this CGI pet and this animal who just feels so out of place, it actually kind of reminds me of Stuart Little a little bit. I grew up with Stuart Little, guys. It's so dumb. But still, there's something very endearing about how weird this family dynamic actually is. And I love the fact that this crocodile does not have a single line of speaking dialogue. Every single feeling he has is put forth in these musical numbers, which are, by the way, I should mention, Shawn Mendes, that's self-explanatory right there. He's got an angelic singing voice. And I think he's going to be getting a lot of butts into seats in the movie theater just to hear him sing some brand new material, which was written by Pasek and Paul, who are some of my favorite composers working in musical theater right now. I love these guys. I mean, every project they take on, they started off with a very obscure show called Dogfight, which is supremely underrated. But then they go on to do the Christmas Story musical, which has some very fun music in there. And of course, their careers would really take off with the release of Dear Evan Hansen in 2015 on Broadway. And yeah, once again, thankfully they have the stage show to look fondly back on. But then a couple years after that, The Greatest Showman hits theaters, and I absolutely fall in love with that thing. Like, oh my god, it's so good. And I think this is a really nice little addition to their repertoire. It's not gonna be their most groundbreaking soundtrack that they've ever put out, I will admit. Some of these songs are not gonna be as memorable as your Come Alive, This Is Me, Sincerely Me. A lot of me songs in their repertoire, I'm noticing. But there are a couple of really, really great standout songs in here. Of course, you have Take a Look at Us Now, which is sung various times throughout this film. But my two favorite songs were the kitchen scene with Constance Wu, which has some really nice choreography in there. And what tops them all is Carried Away towards the start of the third act, which I thought was such a heartbreaking tune. And every time you hear a musical number come up, you are just excited when it's Pasek and Paul, because you know that you're going to be tapping your feet along with it. Like, instantly. You can't help yourself. I mentioned Shawn Mendes was really great in the singing department. The big surprise for me was Javier Bardem. Where did this come from? Had no idea this dude could sing, and honestly, I loved this character so much. It doesn't matter if it's an Academy Award winner for Best Picture like No Country for Old Men or Pirates of the Caribbean 5. If Javier Bardem is in your movie, you know he's going to be throwing his all into it. And man, does he ever. This is such an eccentric, out there performance, and he really hit the nail on the head. He's great in the singing scenes. He's great in the dramatic stuff. Of course, because it's Anton from No Country for Old Men. What would you expect? But like, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. This movie didn't really do a whole lot that was offensive, really. Except for the fact that, you know, this movie is mainly made for children, right? It's gonna be pretty predictable the whole way through. The ending of this movie I saw coming from a mile away. Within the first 10 minutes, I was like, okay, I think this is how the movie's gonna wrap up and everything like that. And sure enough, exactly what I imagined was going to happen did. But sometimes, guys, predictability isn't necessarily a bad trait. Because albeit being predictable, this ending was just so endearing and delightful. And if you guys have kids, if you're looking to have a family outing at the movie theater this weekend, I highly recommend checking out Lyle, Crocodile, especially if you're into musical theater like I am, because I think you're going to get a real kick out of this one. I'm going to give Lyle, Crocodile a B. I know, certainly not the grade a lot of you were expecting, but I wouldn't mind showing the younger members of my family this movie. I'm serious. This movie was darling. Shawn Mendes, of course, angelic singing voice, you're going to have that. Javier Bardem, acting juggernaut, and some brilliant songs to go along with it, and you have a really nice little family movie. What did you guys think of Lyle, Crocodile? Did this convince you to go to the movie theater to check it out and stomach it? Let me know all down in the comments, and let me know what your favorite Pasek and Paul song is. If it be from Dear Evan Hansen, The Greatest Showman, from this movie, if you can believe that, because I love it. I love hearing your guys' feedback. I love getting to interact with you guys down in the comments. Making these videos is fun, but getting to talk all things movies and entertainment with you guys on the regular, it just makes this thing so much more worth it. But if you guys are a new viewer, do consider smashing that subscribe button, hit that notification bell right next door as well. That way you don't miss a second more of the action. And hit that thumbs up button on your way out. That would do me a huge favor, and it would only help this channel continue to grow. And of course, stay tuned for more exciting content hitting my channel very, very soon. I will be continuing my Halloween playlist with Sinister, which should be hitting the channel in the next few days or so. I will be checking out David O. Russell's Amsterdam. I did not forget about that one, guys. I'm hearing the mixed reviews, and I'm kind of dreading it, but hopefully this cast saves that movie for me. But guys, y'all are the best. Thank you all so very much again for your continuous support. With all that being said, back talk commence.